Keir Starmer has been blindsided by a devastating attack. The world's richest man, Elon Musk, has openly declared war on the British PM. He has branded Britain a digital gulag and predicted that the UK is spiraling toward inevitable civil war. But for Starmer, the next blow could be fatal. Musk has demanded the immediate dissolution of Parliament and a total change of current government. Elon Musk is making a dramatic intervention in British politics. Musk dialed into a right-wing anti-mass migration pro-free speech rally.
There's got to be a change of government in Britain, and you can't. We don't have another 4 years or whatever the next election is. It's too long. Something's got to be done. There's got to be a dissolution of Parliament and a new vote. If the fight comes to you, you don't have a choice. You have to fight. So you have to rally all the people of Britain.
Why has Elon Musk suddenly broken his silence? How can the intervention of one of the most influential figure on planet shatter the British government? Let's dive in. Keir Starmer has been branded the reincarnation of Stalin following his imposition of total online censorship. Elon Musk has exposed the so-called Online Safety Act as nothing more than Starmer's personal weapon for mass censorship and the ruthless suppression of dissent. And Starmer's response? The Prime Minister solemnly claimed this law is vital for child protection and battling disinformation, defiantly adding that there is no dictatorship in Britain. This was the boiling point. Musk highlighted chilling real-world examples where police are now raiding homes for incorrect reposts. Even worse, citizens now can face a real prison sentence of up to 3 years for simply posting so-called radical opinions online. Elon fired back instantly, declaring that his platform X will refuse to comply with the UK government demands for the mass deletion of content deemed unacceptable by Starmer. But the worst was yet to come. Even Elon Musk's silent actions are directly driving Starmer toward resignation. A mere single like on a video showing police fleeing from a migrant mob while simultaneously manhandling an elderly grandmother catapults the footage to a staggering 8 million views in just 3 hours. Polls reveal a brutal truth. Just 15 of Musk's likes on such content have slashed Starmer's popularity by 2.7%. Now, imagine the devastation when he makes an open declaration. Critics warn that Musk's demand for the government to step down could totally destroy the Starmer regime as early as next year. Already, Wall Street prediction markets are flashing warning signs, showing a 35% probability of resignation by mid-2026 and a crushing 61% by the end of 2026. Some might accuse Starmer's critics of arrogance, but Wall Street plays with billions of dollars, and the money is saying that the British Prime Minister is finished. The next flashpoint is what Musk explicitly calls two-tier policing. To him, the evidence is blinding. While heavy-handed police squads crush protests of thousands, branded by the media as far-right radicals, grooming gangs are left to roam free in the very same cities. Machete-wielding killers rule the backstreets. And the data is terrifying. In just 1 year, the nation suffered over 50,500 knife attacks. Elon Musk ominously notes that the real numbers are likely far higher. Starmer is relying on pure denial. The Prime Minister declared two-tier justice has never existed, brushing it off as a baseless conspiracy. But thousands of mothers with abused daughters refuse to trust a single word from the Prime Minister. Inside Elon Musk's comments section, the nation has violently fractured into two camps. The first group insisted that his description of the British crisis is far too extreme for a foreigner. But the second fired back with the brutal truth, arguing that the country must face reality and that securing an ally in the world's richest man is a priceless asset. To the owner of X, Keir Starmer is no longer just a political opponent, but a living embodiment of the woke mind virus he has sworn to eradicate. And to Musk, the platform's neutrality is now entirely conditional on truth. But the tech titan didn't just tweet. He escalated the stakes, effectively validating the Civil War narrative as the only logical outcome of open borders. The algorithmic shift on X makes it terrifyingly clear. The global spotlight is shifting strategic support to free speech absolutists, leaving Starmer isolated as a censorship-happy relic. The symbolism is brutal. In the billionaire's calculus, the tractor-driving protesters are viewed as the only force willing to stop what Musk calls Stalinist land seizures. According to reports, inside number 10, paranoia is taking hold. Musk views the UK's horrific 50,500 annual knife attacks and the feudal zombie knife ban as proof of a collapsed society. What started as online criticism has rapidly evolved into an endorsement of systemic change. The government is under siege, from viral videos, from terrified citizens, and from the harsh truth of its own incompetence. Britain, historically a beacon of liberty, now finds itself led by a man Musk considers a North Korean-style bureaucrat. This is not just a culture war, it's a fundamental stress test of Britain's ability to maintain law and order. While Starmer wages war on online misinformation, gangs armed with machetes have effectively secured control of the streets. A viral warning from Musk to avoid the UK would crush the tourism and investment sectors in days. Labor ministers are paralyzed, watching as Musk reposts videos of violent muggings, a move that exposes the government's soft-on-crime failure. Starmer's refusal to acknowledge two-tier policing is being priced by the public as an act of pure betrayal. The UK is suddenly facing the cold shoulder from the digital world's most powerful gatekeeper. No legacy media outlet can step forward to save Starmer from this decisive informational rift. The immediate reputational threat now outweighs even the political peril. Intelligence analysts predict a surge in unrest as the public realizes the extent of the digital gulag. The entire social contract is currently operating on life support. Musk is reportedly preparing to amplify the farmers' protests against the inheritance tax theft to his 200 million followers. This isn't just about tax rates, it's about the resolve to protect the nation's food security. The entire policing architecture is currently under immediate, intensive scrutiny. The world is explicitly questioning London's loyalty to democratic values. A sudden endorsement of the Civil War theory by the world's richest man would immediately degrade Starmer's remaining authority. Keir Starmer has arrogantly bet the nation's future on a censorship doctrine that the digital age has rendered extinct. This escalating conflict represents far more than a clash of egos between a politician and a billionaire. It is a fundamental repudiation of Starmer's state-controlled narrative in favor of Musk's unfiltered reality. Silicon Valley insiders confirm that the tech elite now views the British administration as an active enemy of liberty and profoundly unstable. Global investors can prepare for a catastrophic downgrade in British credit ratings if the government persists in arresting citizens for tweets while ignoring real crime. The economic viability of a market where police monitor memes instead of stopping machete gangs is being ruthlessly recalculated. Every major financial strategist realizes that international capital will not flow into a jurisdiction that threatens to extradite Americans for online posts. The tangible threat of a total ex-Twitter withdrawal is now haunting every strategy meeting in Whitehall. This governance failure constitutes a shameful abandonment of the duty to protect free expression. Starmer cannot articulate why he is risking a tech exodus to protect his failed multicultural experiment. The brutal mockery from the world's richest man confirms that Starmer has now regarded as a second-tier leader. Elon Musk's legal team is demanding absolute guarantees on freedom of speech as a baseline for future operations. The social cost of ignoring the Musk warnings has instantly surged beyond the government's capacity to manage. The cabinet is being violently cornered into choosing between authoritarian control and economic survival. The City of London is quietly simulating the devastating impact of a Musk boycott on the UK tech sector. Prediction markets are already factoring in a government collapse as the only route to restoring order. The UK's reputation as a bastion of democracy has been effectively obliterated by its obsession with policing thought crimes. The nation's standing in the digital economy feels profoundly precarious without the validation of the tech giants. This showdown has brutally exposed the delusion that political correctness can mask the breakdown of law and order. Labor strategists fatally miscalculated the resonance of Musk's Civil War prediction with the terrified British public. Every populist movement across Europe is now galvanized by X's explicit exposure of the two-tier hypocrisy. This is not merely an online spat. It is a systematic dismantling of the government's credibility designed to force a return to common sense. The ruling party is paralyzed by the fear that Musk has effectively become the unofficial leader of the British opposition. Innovation funding faces existential threats if the promised gigafactories go to free speech-friendly nations. The destiny of the British economy is inextricably tied to the approval of global innovators, which Starmer has alienated. The administration is swiftly depleting its reserves of public trust. Starmer's fanatical devotion to DEI policies has ultimately morphed into the single greatest risk to national stability. The philosophical chasm between Westminster and Silicon Valley has now expanded into total war over liberty and truth. While Starmer suffocates the country with digital IDs and taxes, Musk has violently unleashed a revolution of transparency. The tech mogul's first move was to fire the censors, effectively declaring the era of controlled narratives dead. He views Starmer's hate speech laws not as protection, but the suicide note of a free society.